Afternoon, everybody. How we doing? Nice little move on the US dollar CAD potentially starting. Just swept yesterday's high. Load of shorts just came in off the back of that. So see if that bops down. Just spotted that. Right. So, Canadian dollar news we had this afternoon. Unemployment was mixed, so it was as expected for the change, and the rate 0.1% out. So, no real difference, unfortunately, on the US dollar CAD. On the CAD rather. Yeah, not a lot really happened there at 130. That was an hour ago. We have just had that spike up though. Which may be sweeping yesterday's high. We'll see. Possibly a move happening there. Indices collapsed. Boom. Big move down on the indices. So that move that I was looking for earlier played out today. I didn't get onto it. I got onto it a couple of times. With a couple of shorts on the DAX, but not. I didn't manage to ride that whole thing. That's huge. So pretty good. Good moves down on the DAX, and the all the indices basically. They all came down. Afternoon, Diamond, Bruno, Rahat, David. David back from vacation. Oh, US dollar CAD's pushing up. So yeah, big moves down. ADR's nothing today at all. Been pretty odd morning, but nothing's hit ADR. We've had some movement, but not huge. Hourly's the only thing we got lit up is New Zealand dollar, US dollar. So US dollar's been really strong, continuing to be really strong at the moment. So that's coming down nicely. And the 4 hours, all the US dollars. So they've all pushed further up today. I had a US dollar CAD short on, which got stopped out. It was only a little one. So US dollar yen as well, pushing up towards the. If we can get up to ADR today, that's spot on double top. So that'd be quite good. And all the others we looked at, Euro US dollar still coming down. There's a couple of other things getting close now. Pound New Zealand is lit up, as is the pound US dollar and the Aussie US dollar. New Zealand dollar US dollar just hit ADR. There you go. Good timing. So that's just hit the short. Yeah, very, very strong US dollar at the moment. So yeah, good moves. Good moves there. But we'll see if that undoes. There's no more news today, basically. So it's just business as usual. So we should see the indices continue to come down potentially. Afternoon, Neo. All the ADRs being hit now on these pound US dollars. On these US dollar moves. Nice big US dollar moves. They may all fade out now. We've had a big, strong push. We've got 4 minutes to the open, so we might get a reversal starting on all of these now. All these big, strong moves that we've had on these US dollars. Maybe reaching for a reversal. So indices this morning, DAX, big strong drop basically. So opened up, pushed, and big strong drop back down again. So we're back where we started. Little bit down on the Nasdaq, a little bit down on the S&P, ever so slightly, and the Dow is pretty much where it started as well. So if you look at these on a daily, no movement so far today. A little bit down on the US. Nasdaq probably is the worst, but so a little push up and back down to where we started. So all a reset race really for Friday. So we'll see what happens this afternoon. I'm going to trade Nasdaq this afternoon and keep an eye on the other indices. We've got 3 minutes to the open. So I'm just going to see what we can get out of out of this move down. So obviously we've had a fairly decent strong push to the downside today. But we also pushed up this morning. So tricky to tell where this is going. Looking for shorts on all the indices at the minute. Especially on the excuse me, on the DAX. All looking fairly heavy across the board. So I don't really want to chase this down here though. We have had such a strong move down in the run up to the open, so I'm just going to monitor it a little bit and see what happens this afternoon at the open anyway. See how we get on. How's everybody else done today? Bit of an odd day today, isn't it? Trading demo for the moment. My confidence has been shaken. Forex is hinky and not super comfortable with the indices. Yeah, keep going demo. Demo is the best thing to be trading at the minute, honestly. Drives you crazy, this market at the moment. Unfortunately, demo doesn't make you money. That's just a problem. Very hard to squeeze anything out at the minute. US dollar CAD is just reversing, potentially reversing. Be looking maybe for a push down into this area here, into these highs. Depends obviously what's going to happen this afternoon, but we could get a bounce down there. Could even come all the way back down. Not quite sure why we got so much strength coming through on the US dollar, but just a normal move by the looks of things. Whoa. Do you hear that? Crickets have woken up. A load of short money just came in there. I wouldn't be surprised if this tanks at the open. Yeah, the problem with making money with trading demo is not making any money. So that is the problem. Okay. Just going to watch this CAD just to see what happens down. See if it gets that push down. Indices coming down fairly hard. Can't really. Crickets are coming in. Sells. Not quite sure where we're going on NAS. This is such a big drop. It's very difficult to short this at the moment. I kind of want to, but feels a little bit like chasing it down here. Certainly opened weak anyway. Okay, good projection at the lows there. Going to go long one. Obviously trading on the 1 minute chart here, but push down, rejected, push back up, bullish engulfing. See if we can get on a little bit of a pullback, maybe up to those highs at the open. DAX is pushing up very hard, so is the FTSE. FTSE's flying. Nope, loads of sellers coming in. It's an interesting question, Peter. Bruno, rather. Stopped out on that first long. Yeah, I'm undecided about demo. Personally, I think you should trade real money rather than demo, but there's a very large psychological gap, like as Bruno just said, between a demo and a live. If you trade a demo account, it is like a game, and that's the problem with these evaluation accounts with prop firms. If you've got a two-stage evaluation, stage 1 and stage 2 are an evaluation. Got me turn the crickets down a little bit. There's a lot of sellers coming in. This market's tanking. I don't really want to jump on short. You know it's going to pull back at some point. Yeah, if you basically if you're trading a demo account, it's not real money. It doesn't matter, does it? If you're trading a demo account, you can hit the buy and the sell button with 10 contracts. There's no problems. If you start making money that way, you'll try and do that with real money, and that won't work. So I think you're better off sticking some real money in an account and trading it. Trade it small, but trade an amount that you worry about, not that you wouldn't worry about. So, if you've got 50 grand in the bank, don't trade with 500 quid account. So you're really not going to bother about 500 quid. If 500 quid gets lost, oh well, never mind. If you put 5 grand in there, you'll think twice about it and you'll trade completely differently. But very different mixed views on demos. It's the same psychological gap from jumping from a 5k account to a 50k account to a 500k account. That jump is huge. That jump is even huger. Which is why if you concentrate on percentages, the money doesn't really come into the equation. We are falling out the lows. I'm going to take an opening range low break on the 1 minute chart. I've got a feeling this might not turn out well, but who knows? We've got a long way to go to ADR yet. But I say a long way, we've got 80 points. So, yeah. This is going to continue to come down today. I'm not quite sure why they are so weak today. Raz, I'm on demo with real money. You can't be on demo with real money. No such thing. Do you use RSI when there is a trend? I realised RSI is always in the buy zone when the trend is down and is useless because I want to go with the trend. You can use the RSI for trends, yeah. So you use it for a pullback. So when the RSI moves above the 50, you can use it. Depends. You can use it any way you like, but yeah, people do use it for trend trading. RSI, you can use it for anything. It's only showing you relative strength. So trends have relative strength. Some people use the RSI when it drops below the 50, they go short. So you go short there. More selling coming in. Haven't quite got a break of this low yet. It's struggling down here. I'm just taking a buy stop above that high in case we don't break this low. Got a lot of rejection down here, a lot of wicks. No, it looks like it's going. Cancel that. Okay, there's the opening range breakout. I'm really not sure I wanted to short this all the way down here. We've had a massively strong drop. And then for the open to do that, this thing needs a pullback. Really needs a pullback, doesn't it? Don't really want to take it out. I'm just going to give this a couple more minutes to see what it does. More sellers stepping in. Blimey, it's still going. Okay, game one short. Looks like we're going for yesterday's low. Diamond, for me, part of the problem is there's a huge difference between how things look in the back tester versus forward testing. Yeah. Hard right edge is where you sit and watch price is very different to when you're watching something in a back tester. I don't like this. I'm taking that off. I don't like this short down here. It's too deep. It's gone too far. I just know this is going to pull back. We are probably going for the low, for yesterday's low, but the risk reward's not there for me. I'd rather long this at the low, I think, if we can get there. If we can get down to ADR, down to yesterday's low, I'm going to look for a long opportunity down there. I don't want to chase this down here. Needs a pullback. Benefit of demo is it's real time. Can't speed it up or pause it. Yeah. There's a lot of good things about trading in a simulator. You get to see market patterns, market structure unfolding. You get to see everything playing out in fast forward, which is good because your eye's still being trained. Your eye's still seeing the things unfold, seeing the patterns unfold, seeing what happens with price. But demo trading is obviously very, very different to live trading. So pound's coming down, euro's coming down still against the US dollar. US dollar Swiss is still pushing. Aussie dollar, US dollar's coming down. The only thing that isn't going up at the moment is US dollar CAD. The only thing that the US dollar is not able to win against at the moment is US dollar CAD. So we've got a fairly strong Canadian dollar, it looks like, off the back of that news. Not massively strong, but strong enough. Okay, so where we put this low in and sold off to give the push up yesterday at the end of the session, we're just coming down to challenge that initial move. So we're getting stuck here, some buyers stepping in. Kind of like them just to dump, really, just keep going down. If we can get down to that double bottom, that's a lovely long opportunity down there. Here they come. See if we can take that high. Okay, that's the first higher low. Sorry, higher high we've had. Going long one. Just going to try one down here, see if we can get a pullback. Kind of feel like I'm standing in front of a train at the moment, but train's got to stop at some point. Not getting aggressive on this, looking to take it back sort of up to here. Still think we've probably got a little bit lower to go, but just going to chance one here that we get a little pullback before we get another leg down. It's a lot of movement. We've had like 2 hours now, or hour and a half. Solid move down. Okay, comes some buyers. So, the reason I took that trade was got a nice rejection down here. These two big long wicks making a nice W, and then we immediately broke a higher high with that candle. So, looking for basically that type of movement, but not necessarily a reversal here. I'm looking for a pullback and then another leg down. So I'm just playing a counter trend move. Potentially. That still feels pretty heavy. Tammy up 35 pips on Aussie US. Hoping for a stronger move south. Yeah, could well get it with the way the US dollar's going at the moment. Although if we do get a reversal down here on the indices, we'll probably see a little bit of weakness start to show on the US dollar. So all the time this is coming down, we'll probably see the US dollar strengthening. So seems that way at the moment. DAX has got stuck completely. If you look at this on the 1 minute chart, DAX is just frozen after this big drop, so might be starting to push back up again on the DAX as well in a minute. Okay, didn't make any headway on that candle. Inside bar on the 5 minute chart. Just closing that out for 0.3. We are starting to struggle down here for shorts, but it's not. I was looking for that to move fast. Wanted to see that just go. Buyers stepping in, they haven't. All that buying pressure has just been absorbed, and they're pushing short again. Bruno, how do I manage my risk scaling into losers? Go and watch the Boocamp. All explained in there. Pound US dollar looks like a buy on a higher time frame. What higher time frame are you looking at? Yeah, I mean, it's nicely extended. Wow, that's really extended. Got some ADRs being hit now against the US dollar. New Zealand dollar CAD as well. Very strong CAD. So we've broken out on that symmetrical triangle on the 4 hour. More sellers stepping in on the indices by the sounds of things. Yeah, really going for it. Good job I got out of that. Okay, I think we just hit that low, haven't we? Afternoon, Gary. Pound US dollars just taking out the liquidity at the lows there as well. Really good move down on the NAS. Just see where we've got to now on that one. Jesus. Okay, not quite there yet. Just got out of a short on the pound US dollar. Very good. Yeah, I shorted that this morning as well. A couple of times, just scalping. 125 ADR on that now, just showing signs of rejection. Pound US dollar at the lows on the 5 minute. Tweezers of bottoms going in there. So potentially This US dollar strength may be starting to wane a little. Indices still coming down so hard. This was your entry, basically. Kind of missed this today. It was so quick at the open. This is what I mean. But this is exactly what I was saying this morning, isn't it? These are the types of plays that we're seeing quite a lot at the open. These like down, and then you sit and you accumulate for ages. So they don't let you in on the move. You get very few opportunities to get in. It's all being moved so quickly. It just makes entries very hard on these trends. But let's just have a quick look at what's going on with these US dollars. So US dollar CAD. The only reason I'm looking at these US dollars is because we've had a very, very strong hour-long push, which is likely to fade. US dollar Swiss has been pushing hard. US dollar yen is stalling as well. Pound US dollar was looking like it was going to turn. A little bit of strength started to show on the euro US dollar as well. So potentially things starting to move a little bit, but we are still a long way away from showing signs of a reversal. Very, very strong move, that US dollar move. Need the indices to kick back up. Just waiting for this to get down. Just seeing if we are going to get down to this yesterday. Oh, we just tapped yesterday's low. Okay, so we are at a double bottom right now. Okay. So going with the buy stop above that last candle, just in first position. See if we get this bounce. Tidy this up a little bit. Come some buyers. So Aussie dollar, we have this accumulation here, which we've broken down out of now, still pushing down. So very nice extended now for a pullback. Just checking news to see if there's any news. No news. That's causing this strength. So Aussie and New Zealand dollar against the US, potentially looking good for pullbacks from here. Big collapse that. Really falling out of bed, doesn't it? Okay, we're at ADR now as well. Let's see if we can find some buyers down here. Looking crazy on my other platform. Look. Total destruction. Almost want to at the moment. When it turns red, hit the sell button, walk away, come back 2 hours later. When it goes green, hit the buy button. Okay. So still bearish candle on M5. Got some New Zealand dollar, US dollar, and Aussie US dollar RSIs have been hit on the hourly. So we'll see if we can get bullish candle here. This could be a nice 3-bar reversal. So fairly decent spinning top. Indecision in the market. DAX has just taken out the lows of the session and is pushing back up again. All the indices seem to be pushing up at the minute. Got some buying pressure coming in now, which is good. Dow has also come off the lows. So, nice rejection there. Which is also going to be potential retracement higher. Nasdaq's not happy though still. Okay, going long one more. So we're just running into basically this accumulation. So we need to break through this propulsion gap here. Once we get through there, we're pretty clear up to the highs. US dollar is coming down nicely as well. Not the yen. Good exit on that pound US dollar, Gary. Have we run out of sellers? Finally. Still meeting a lot of resistance. Just bringing my stops up on these, just reducing risk a little bit. Obviously, we are still running the danger of having another leg here. So this is a bit risky counter trend, but that is a hell of a drop. Kind of hoping for a V-shaped recovery on this. Not going to hold it that long. Would be nice though, wouldn't it? So pound US dollar's coming off 125. New Zealand dollar CAD, we're still struggling a little bit down here. Good strong Canadian dollar. New Zealand dollar, US dollar starting to stall out as well at 100 ADR. But quite tricky to get in the way of these at the minute. Very strong. Getting a little bit more rejection coming in on the NAS. So hopefully we just get a little pullback around about 50% and then get another leg up. A little bit more selling pressure coming in. Okay, that'll do. Now you can push back up again from there. %50 retracement. And a wick test on M5. So we've tapped straight into that wick. On one more. Okay, watching this opening range low. So this initial push down that we had, where we started to reject here. As we broke that, we retested it and dropped. So that was a good strong support resistance for the first 5 minutes of the open. So if we can get a break above there, we should be good up to there. But obviously we're in a downtrend, so unless we make a new high, obviously you can get a reversal alert. This is where we will start the next leg down. Okay, so there's our higher low. Struggling a little bit down here now. Running out of steam a little bit. Let's see what everything else is up to. So a bit of a pullback on the DAX. I've had a reversal alert on that. So we came off these lows very nicely. S&P's pulling back, Dow's as well. So just a little bit of a pullback across them all at the minute. Hopefully this isn't a reversal. Going to get stopped out of one, stopped out of the top position. Nah, looks like a reversal. When will I learn? Got to get out so fast on these at the minute. Still, it's the bit I struggle with scalping is trying to get out quick. Should have taken that 1% off up there and added, but the speed of that movement, so just got taken out with that on that low, unfortunately, on that third position. But see if we can play these two back up there. Still be a profit. So Nasdaq, if you look at that on a 1 minute chart, nice reversal alert and retest. So if we break high again here, hopefully we'll be off. But this is looking potentially like a pullback. So we've made a lower high there. Pound US dollar is pulled back very nicely off of 125 ADR and is still going. So a little bit of weakness starting to show now in that US dollar after that big rally we had at the end of London. Big strong move on gold. Gold's just made new highs. So gold's getting up to that first resistance there. Really strong level that many times that has acted as support and resistance. We're just approaching that now. If we get back up to there, we're at ADR today. And obviously we're at where that sell started as well. So good potential resistance coming up. If you're going to continue to range trade gold, that looks really good. Not there yet. We're just taking out that liquidity from that high. Big bearish engulfing there would have enticed a lot of shorts in. Just been stop hunted. Looks like we're going to sleep here. Okay, I've got my stops here to get out of this. If we're going to continue and put a pullback in on this, this is kind of where we will turn. This is kind of last chance saloon really for the longs. If this, if we break back down here, chances are we're going to break the lows. So it'd be a good point to flip short. But see where we go in the next 5 minutes. So we have got a lot of buying pressure coming in. You see the wicks on the 5 minute chart. Lots of absorption here. So all the sellers are getting absorbed now. Buyers is definitely taking control. whether or not they can break these highs and get that moving. Okay, so that's 3 wicks to the downside. Oh, wrong one. 3 wicks to the downside there. In a row. Very bullish. Just adding one more long. Basically that one that got taken out a minute ago. There's a little bit of weakness just starting to creep in on a couple of these euro pairs. Just notice euro US dollars just putting in a nice rejection there as well. We may well get another leg on the US dollar this afternoon. Just moving stops up. If we're going to break these lows, it's not going to bode well. So I'm going to get out down there. Tough today. Struggling to get pulled back in. This is very typical, isn't it, of what we're seeing? Like I said this morning. Rush out of the open and then sit sideways. Broken it now. I was just going to say on the S&P we looked like we were topping out, but we just managed to crack through that level. It's stuck again. Real struggle today. US dollar Swiss is just approaching levels of support on M5. Good strong move down on the US dollar there. Wow, really struggling to get a new high in here. Friday afternoon. May well see the main move come in the last 2 hours. Quite often we get that end of week pump or dump. London's down the pub. Good rejection there. Closing those out, 0.6. So the reason I closed that out, that first pullback, we made a new low. We've just rejected that high twice. We got equal highs put in there, which is another lower high. So we're forming a symmetrical triangle off of a bear move. So there's a good chance, I think, that this is going to break out to the downside. So just going to bank it. Pays for those 2 failed trades and put some profit in the bank. Let's just have a quick whiz through and see what's going on with FX. Aussie dollar Swiss just made new lows. Just taking out yesterday's low, so might get a little reversal there. Look at that. Total sideways Aussie yen for 2 days. Blimey. Very sideways at the moment. Everything. It's one hell of a range there. I got taken out on that euro yen earlier, by the way, at break even. Remember, I had that euro yen short on from here. Got taken out there for break even today. Didn't quite. This is the one that missed my target. That was my TP, but it didn't let me out. So we pulled back out and took me out. That's what happens with break even stops. You get break even. You're in New Zealand. Pound odds stuck sideways, haven't gone anywhere since yesterday's London session. So Canadian dollar looks to be the strongest thing out there at the moment. God, what can you do with this? Look. So US dollar and Canadian dollar, really the only movers at the minute. Nice support on New Zealand dollar Swiss. So this is this zone from those highs. Sat and accumulated just back there again. US dollar CAD just taken out yesterday's high. Again, 3-day push there. Actually, that's more of a, that's a hammer on the daily. And then we've had 2 days of push and just taken out that liquidity at the high. So there's your hammer. 2-day push. Stop hunt. At the 24.72. Also at resistance. Good short opportunity there, US dollar CAD. Quite like the look of that. Good short. Not going to get a reversal alert on M5. It's too strong, that move. I'm just going to stick a sell stop. A couple of sell stops on that US dollar CAD. We're looking at this one this morning, weren't we? So we've just taken out the liquidity at yesterday's high. We had a nice M pattern reversal yesterday. Would have enticed people to short it. All liquidity would be up there. That's gone. Looks like a good spot for a short. Really good spot for a short. What's it doing on M5? Yeah, look. Lower highs going in. Break those lows. Whoop. Okay, going short with one now as well. And then I'm going to get a second position in on a break of that low. See if we can get down here to see how far it gets, basically. But if you look at this from a longer term perspective, we've had a nice reversal hammer, good strong push up. We're ready for that profit take move off the last 3 days now. Yeah, we got extended on the hourly, pushed up again. And we're just basically sitting up here embedded. So definitely due some kind of pullback on that. Struggling up there at the minute though. Looks like a good short though. It's worth a shot. Just too strong, all this US dollar move, to get a reversal alert on any time frame really, because it's pushed too hard, too fast in that section. Okay, we did get that move, so I got out prematurely on that. Never mind. Now it's starting to come down. So there was my exit on that rejection. And then 2 minutes later, we screamed up and broke the highs. So long, somewhere up there. Johnson and Schultz are talking live in a press conference. Started literally a couple of minutes ago. Just be a little careful. Might get a bit of volatility here on the euro or the pound. Not quite sure what that is. It wasn't scheduled. I haven't included it in the news, so just be aware that there's something going on with those two at the minute. in case we see any spikes on pound or euro. Bruno, sorry, I was just have been ignoring the chat, seeing you lot chat away. Yeah, I've never position traded in indices. I do position trade in indices. Take that back. On the S&P when it's trending. I do on the S&P when we're trending nicely. I do position trade on this, but I have a limit that I get out at. I've never tried position trading on tiny time frames with it though, which is what you're talking about. I think you might struggle because if you get into a trend like this, how do you get into that with longs? There is no long. I mean, you'd have to. The trouble with the indices is when they go into a trend, you won't get. They trend so nicely, you don't get many reversal alerts. So there's not that many opportunities to add into your positions. So you would have to kind of use a grid. But I don't know. I've never really tried on indices position trading. They're more investment vehicles. They trend. They either go into rotation, as we see. You know, they go into these rotations, like we had yesterday. Yesterday was a rotation. Yeah. So we opened. We pushed up. We pushed down. We pushed up. Yeah. Previous 2 days were trend days. Yeah, if you try and position trade a trend day, you get slaughtered. If you position trade a rotation, you're not going to get anything. So, they're not really conducive to position trading, I don't think. Not manipulated in the same way that Forex is. Forex is fully manipulated by the banks. The banks can push price very easily. Whenever they want to any level they want to make money. With indices, we are seeing an aggregation of 100 stocks with thousands of participants buying and selling stocks. So when a company or a group of companies or a sector has good results, there's no manipulation. No matter how hard I try as a bank to dump this, people are going to buy the stock, which is why you get the strong moves. This is like institutions and funds scaling in or out of stocks, which they also break up into multiple orders, which is what these little accumulations you see are. So dump orders, accumulate, dump orders, wait, dump orders, wait. And they're waiting for a pullback so they can get a better price to dump, but it looks the same, but it's not being. The mechanics behind it are not the same. Still, it's all a lot of this is algorithmic. You know, the funds don't have people sitting there pressing buttons. It's algorithms dumping stocks. I think the key would be to reduce risk on the initial entry to keep the total combined risk to a reasonable size. Yeah. I mean, the other day, excuse me, I scaled into that position on S&P or NASDAQ. I can't remember which one it was. I scaled into a position on it. It pushed against me, and then I got out on the pullback. So I did do that. I did position trade it, but I had a small position size where there was $500. I'm out. So you could do it. You'd have to split your positions up into small sizes, and you kind of use a stop loss. So what you would do if you're going to position trade it is, let's say, I don't know, let's use the RSI. let's say you wanted to short it. So you'd short it here. It pushed up. You take another short. You see a high. You take another short. Yeah. But you would have if we get up to X financially, I'm going to shut the whole lot out. So it's just a normal trade, but you're splitting your entry down into multiple positions to average into the market. I don't see a problem with doing that, but you can't hold. It's not something I would want to hold. If an index decides it wants to go the other way, it's going to go the other way for days, as we've seen. We're in a bear market at the moment. Yeah. Does that look like a bear market to you? If you're position trading that, you're stuffed. They don't work the same way. I don't think anyway, but I don't think the intention is to position trade. It's just to make it easier to get out if the initial trade goes against you. Yeah, so adding to positions every now and again, I don't have a problem with. But you see me if I add to a position, as I did a minute ago. Yeah, which one did I add to? As it was coming down. Sure, I did it, didn't I? If I add to a position, let's say I add here. Yeah, I will put my stop in as not. I'll do it now. Look, let's go. I'm going to go long again, right? But what I'm going to do is reduce my stop, yeah? So although I'm adding to a losing position at a good spot, I'm not putting full risk on. I'm reducing. And I did it wherever I did it. I can't remember where I did it. Somewhere down here I added to a position, but I moved my stop. So you're reducing the risk. I'm not taking a full risk on the second position, full risk on the first position, a half to 2/3 maybe risk on the second position. I wouldn't scale in really to any more than 2 positions. Might take a third. If we're going into if we've had a good strong push and we're flagging, and I think, right, this is last chance saloon, I might take a third one there, but the risk won't be down here. The risk will immediately be moved up to here. So I'll take a 0.1 loss on that last position. And if that last position is where we get in, bingo. That's where you're going to make some decent money. But I'm out. I have a fixed stop if I'm going to scale in, but I don't really like to scale into losers, especially on 1 minute, because it does that. So you just got to be a little bit more cautious, I think, with indices. Most of the trades I scale in and then close at the break even of the first entry, so the profit comes from the scaled positions to cover the first. Went wrong. Yeah, it's okay. So here where we are now. If this is going long, I would be looking for the buyers to start to step in. Yeah, and this isn't a good example. If my stops were here, for example, and I was looking for the buyers to step in somewhere down here, I'd be happy to add a position there, but I would have virtually no risk on it. It would be like, right, getting in again, but there's no risk on it. Tiny risk. All we're doing every time we're entering a position is we are saying, right, if I'm right, market structure is going to do that. Yeah, so I'm going to get out there. If it comes down here, it's invalidated by market structure. So I'm going to get stopped out of that one. So adding here right now is not a problem, but that is my risk. Tiny. Literally a point. next to nothing. Adds very, very little to my loss, but can dramatically increase my gain. I'm demonstrating this live, so I shouldn't be doing that. I didn't really want to scale into that, but it demonstrates the point, doesn't it? See, now they're going to come down and take my whole lot, and just now it's going to go. I'm having one of those weeks this week, really am. This is what drives you crazy about trying to extract money on small time frames with stops. It's a death by 1,000 cuts, and then you're sitting there waiting for that wonder day that comes along. That wonder day pays you. It's the death by 1,000 cuts which is the killer. You have days like this. I'm having a week like this at the moment. Literally, I am up and down and up and down and up and down constantly at the minute. Getting chewed. US dollar CAD is a prime example. Look at that. M5. So I'm in that initial position. I mean, I think that's the thing that's lacking at the moment, isn't it? The market structure at the moment seems to be very much, instead of that, when we're trending, we're getting that. And what everybody's trying to do is find the market structure in the accumulation. And it's just not there at the minute. Which is what I'm looking for here. But that was stops in the wrong place there. Just have to set a limit to the drawdown and then close with a loss instead of doing what I did Wednesday and took a 30% loss. Yeah, you can't. That's too much. You're over leveraged. If you took a 30% loss, you're over leveraged, or you're in too close, which is obviously the other issue that everybody has with position trading, is getting in too close together. It's very, very easy to do. Death by 1,000 cuts. Yeah. Over the past month, and it really sucks. Yeah. It is. And that's why I moved to position trading. Because there's very, very few people that can survive being cut so many times. And this is why everybody system hops. You know, as I keep going on about it. Well, I don't keep going on about it, but I go on about it in the Bootcamp. The reason people system hop is because they try a strategy that they've had a couple of successful trades with, and then it doesn't work for 8 or 10 trades. And they go, nah, it's rubbish, doesn't work. It does work. You're just not giving it enough time to let the edge play out. But unfortunately, as with most professional traders, prop firms, hedge funds, whatever, the average strike rate is 30-40%. So 60% of the time you're going to be wrong. And if you haven't got the psyche to be wrong 60% of the time, that's where it all goes wrong, unfortunately. And there's not many human beings that will sit there and do a job that they're wrong 60% of the time in. 70% of the time. Best swing traders have got a 30% strike rate. But you 10-to-1 risk-reward ratio. So, you know, it's sitting through this, getting cut to bits, which is the hard bit. But, you know, like you saw last week, I catch these. When you catch those, it pays for everything. It's just you've got to wait for that payday. You don't know when the payday's coming. And it's just trying to sit through the non-paydays, which is the painful part. But you have to sit through them. Things like the US dollar CAD. Okay. Looking like a new leg starting down potentially. My leverage is 1 to 200. I opened 6 positions long. Only the last one was very little profit. The rest killed me. Yeah. Drop on the DAX on Wednesday, you're talking about. Yeah. That's the trouble with mean reversion. Mean reversion doesn't work in a trend. Trend trading doesn't work in a range. You never know when the market's going to do one or the other. So you just have to try and identify the ebb and flow as best you can, like here. Again, going to reduce risk on this initial position as well here. Give it a little bit of room. But we need to be out fast on these. A lot of crickets coming in. See if that US dollar's coming down. Yeah, US dollar's coming down as well. That's good. Weak US dollar, strong index. Okay, pushing TPs up. This is looks like it might be a strong one. Closing half. Moving to break even. If we crack these highs, we've got a chance of actually getting a move here. Come on, US dollar. Help it out. Tesla has just teamed up with Blockstream to mine Bitcoin off of a solar power plant in Texas. Maybe markets like that. Okay, so I got a fair bit of room here now. Got break even buy, which I'm going to leave as a runner. Go for a sort of 1.5–2% profit on that one. See if we can get that to be the payday. US dollar still is. You can see the weakness forming now in the US dollar. We are just about making new lows and new lower highs as well on the US dollar now, but very, very, very subdued. Swissie's coming down hard. Really strong Swiss franc. Big move on the Swiss franc then, coupled with the US dollar weakness. Obviously moved the US dollar Swiss a lot faster. Let's see if we can get this US dollar CAD moving, shall we? It's teasing me into a second position. There you go, second sell in. So watching this level. So if that is a stop hunt, should see basically a retest of these lows coming in. Shall I zoom in so we can actually see what the hell we're doing? So we just teased straight off of that, straight off of that support. So looking for this, my break-even line basically is resistance. So looking for a push back down out of that. So quite a bit of volatility just coming in on the US dollar there. Stuff's moving. So this is the 130 big round number pound US dollar that we're at right now. So that is exactly where we bounced last time, which we've just done a little stop hunt of. Canadian US dollar CAD's coming down fairly nice. Oh, just well, it did anyway. It's just rejecting off of these lows again. More balls coming in on the indices. Come on, don't stall there. Let's just go. Let's go. Okay, I just put this accumulation. So this was the end of that push. That was the low of that accumulation period before we broke down again at the open. So I'm just watching this level. This is basically the end of the Globex session, and obviously we're at the open now. So this is the New York Open. So I'm just watching for signs of rejection there. We'll probably get a pullback off of that, but would look for it to come down somewhere around here. So that US dollar CAD, last seconds of that move, we broke and held just. So we'll see what we get here. If we can get a new lower low put in there, I think we're probably good to at least come down and retest this level. Bearing in mind it's Friday, I probably don't want to hold over the weekend. So I might, might just get out down here somewhere, but here we go. So I've just taken this US dollar CAD on my other account as well. I'm just moving some TPs down. So I'm just targeting the lows down here and see if we can get this undone down to there. I'm just going to cancel this pending off because if I don't really want to hold this over the weekend. So this is going to be roughly 3% profit down here. 1.3. Okay, taking that off 1.2 up there. So that's 1.8 off of that trade, off of those two. So first, second. There we go. That'll do. It's hard work, isn't it? I just feel exhausted every time I finish trading now, doing this. It's not as much fun, is it? But anyway. So US dollar CAD, that's going to be roughly, say, 3% roughly down there. Profit. Down there on the live account. I finally look. Whoa. What's going on? Hang on. Just move that down a bit. I've made it. Remember, I was trying to get there. There we go. I am now officially over the threshold. So if I close these out now, these US dollar CADs, I am now, every time I make money, my trailing stop is stopped at 50k. So I can start building a drawdown buffer. That was a bumpy ride getting there. Very bumpy. At least I'm there now. So 2.5k banked this week. Not banked, but got to get through a month yet. Don't get paid until you've been for a month. Right, so I'm going to hold those. Might as well stop to break even on these actually as well. I'm not going to risk. I'm break even on my funded account as well, so I'm not going to risk it. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm just a little bit worried about getting bounced here. This is a strong move. So there's not any signs of buyers coming in at the minute. But I'm just toying with the idea of maybe just taking one off. And then letting the other one run. Just in case we do get a break of these lows. This is a convincing undoing, isn't it? It's an A-shaped recovery. So we might break the lows. In fact, yeah, let's do that. So we've just filled that propulsion gap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that TP. Not realistically going to get. I don't think realistically today we're going to get much further than that. So I'm just going to go for basically a support bounce with the second position. First position taken off. And obviously break even on it. So see if I can get a little runner down to there. That'll do me for today. I'm going to do the same on the other account as well. What's that bang me? So sitting at a balance 52,626. So over the 52.5k, and I've got $170 running in profit with break even stop. And TP, I'm going to cancel the TP off of that one. Because it's on the funded account, I'm going to cancel the TP off and let that run over the weekend. If it goes down. So I might as well go for a runner. You never know. Right. Not a bad session in the end, was it? After all that hideous choppiness. So watch for a bounce on this. If you're going to play long again on the NASDAQ. Let me just move this over. So look for a pullback somewhere in there, potentially for another long. Watch this low of the, not the Asian session, Globex low basically. Watch that low. But yeah, looking like we may well want to go a little bit longer today. So pull back and long, but that will be third leg up. So by the time we get up to there, might be ready to pop again. So that's the last trade I'd probably want to take if I was going to take another one, but I'm not going to take any more today myself. Okay, all done for the week. What a painful week. What a hideously painful week. But profit in the end. So that's all that matters. Back on Monday. News-wise for the weekend, nothing really to worry about. We have... it's the election. Yeah, we have got something to worry about. Well, I say we've got something to worry about. You're not going to have any financial or economic impact, obviously, but I don't know what the market's going to make of it. I haven't watched what's going on with the French elections at all. Unlikely we would get anything off of that. So, if you're holding any euro over the weekend may want to be a bit cautious, but I don't think so. Kuroda is speaking on Monday morning. Whenever we get a tentative there, it tends to be somewhere around about 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning UK. So nothing we can do about it. We'll be asleep. But obviously that could have an impact on the yen. So we may well wake up to some strong Asian movement on the yen. And potentially on the Aussie and the New Zealand as well, on the Kiwi. So keep an eye on those for Monday morning. Next week, busy week next week. So can't even fit it on the screen. It's that busy. So we've got CPIs on Tuesday. Monday's not busy apart from the yen. So CPIs on Tuesday. New Zealand dollar rates on Wednesday AM. We've got pound CPI. We've got US PPI. We've got CAD rates. And then we've got the CAD press conference. We've got the Aussie unemployment. We've got the euro rate. That could be a shocker. There's a lot of talk about rate changes at the moment. There is potential for a 0.25 on that. I don't think it will happen, but we've seen it happen. So then we've got the ECB press conference, and then we've got retail for the US dollar. So basically Tuesday through to Thursday next week is uber volatile. So I might try scalping a lot of this next week. See if we get some decent movement off of those. And then Friday's bank holiday. Woo! So it won't be a Friday. So yeah, big ones next week. Really good week ahead of us. If you look at the rates for the euro, we've been stable on a 0 for, I'm not even sure it goes back far enough. Yeah, we go. So that's where we changed. Was 2016. Okay, we went from a 0.5 to negative. Since then, the euro has been stuffed. Well, it was starting to be stuffed, and it was stuffed itself by doing it. But we very rarely get rate change happening, but it does happen. Yeah. At some point, they're going to forecast potentially a 0 and come in with a rate change. And we're getting close. There's a lot of talk about it. So they could make a last-minute decision. So it could get very interesting on the euro next week, but we will see. But yeah, big changes for the euro. Quite what impact that will have on the euro, not sure. You would like to think it's positive, but don't know. They've got a long way to dig themselves out. It's likely going to come down to Macron and Le Pen. Macron is not likely to get 50% in round 1, so we're probably looking at a runoff. Right, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, whenever we have elections and things like that, they tend to have an impact, but the impact it's a news spike. It's not something that is going to fundamentally change anything. You know, the head of government is not head of a bank. You know, so there's very little that will change, I don't think. But you never know. You could have an uprising in France over the weekend. Could go into civil war. Who knows? Anything can happen at the moment. Russia could bomb it. Yeah. You never know. You off, Tammy? Right, cool. Yeah, so have a good weekend, everybody, whatever you're doing. And hopefully make some more profit this afternoon. Back on Monday for the Frankfurt session, same time as usual, 10 to 8. And anything you need, I will be in the Telegram group over the weekend. Okay, so have a good one. Good luck this afternoon if you're carrying on trading. Otherwise, I'll see you on Monday.